Alright, Stata here. In this video, I will basically cover the rest of the picks in my draft league. Because a lot of them were like one pointer with 2 pointers fill up the spot. And were just people just drafting the pieces to make up for their team. So now there's not much to talk about for most of the drafts. So I'll just quickly go through the rest sixth round of the drafts. Yeah, and in case you're just new to this channel, this is a channel about Pokemon, everything Pokemon and TCG. I'll probably include some Riftbound in the future. Currently, what we're doing is we're having the first ever MB regulation draft league in Pokemon Champion, and we've already started the draft league this week. So round one are happening these days. I think there's a round tonight, and there's another game tomorrow evening. After that, will be the conclusion of our round one, and I will just upload all the match recording sometimes later this week. Maybe on Thursday, maybe on Friday. Yeah, basically how it works, and we'll go from there. So the first round draft the first pick of the fifth round from Team Cat 1, 5 points, Superior. Very good grass type attacker. I know this one was on his radar for a long time. He was talking to me about like he really likes Superior. Like the first day we released our draft board. Um, very like budget wise, very smart choice. It's very budget efficient. There's a lot. I think it values more. This Pokemon values probably more than 5 points. I'm not exactly sure, but with contrary, Superior could buff itself or while like doing massive damage to the opponent. Also, like because it's a Swamper team, so any grass type attacker will be a huge threat for his team, and taking Superior means no one else can take this Pokemon. People should probably pay more points to get the viable grass type attacker. Yeah, that's it. And going on for the second pick from Team Terror PPY, 15 points for Sylveon. His first 5 picks were all very expensive. I think Sylveon is the cheapest choice. So at this like up until now for Team Terror PPY. I'm pretty sure he spent more than 70 points. I didn't really do the calculation, but very strong fairy type attacker. I think it's arguably the second best fairy type other than Floette. You can argue whether Gardevoir, Mega Gardevoir, or Sylveon, which one is better. I think like maybe in terms of powerhouse, Sylveon, like Gardevoir will be a little bit better than Sylveon, but Sylveon does not take a Mega spot. Also, like it works in Trick Room. Also, in theory, if it max speed, could work in Tailwind. So yeah, and also like his entire team up until now was very physical. This is his first special attacker. Like you need a balance in between like physical and special attack so that you don't get farmed by like Intimidate or like Will-O-Wisp teams here and there. So yeah, expensive but very powerful choice. Third pick from Toronto Star Raptors goes to 8 points for Sceptile. This is a returning Mega Pokemon from earlier generation and just returned to Pokemon Champion in regulation MB. And the addition is that it learns Earth Power. I think this for the updates has done to this meta. Like this is a relevant one for Sceptile. Like it's a coverage move that help it deal with some of the types that they struggle with. For example, like fire or like steel. Like probably you can deal with it with Earth Power, but not much. And it is a fast and heavy hitting grass type attacker. It's also like very like budget wise very smart. It's not cost much. It's pretty good value out of 8 points. Like looking back to it, like people think like looking back to the draft, people actually think Sceptile should worth more than 8, maybe a 9 pointer. but we had it. We locked in the draft board the day NB regulation hits. So it is what it is. 8 points feels like a steal. Also like his second mega Pokemon in cases that the Staraptor is not the best choice, you can always go for Sceptile. There's not much to talk about the base form. Of course, you can run something like White Warp or I don't know, Choice Scarf, not Choice Scarf, Focus Ash, and try to do the unburden shenanigans, but it's not that powerful. I think it's mainly there for the grass typing because there's for sure two water teams and this Swampert there. Yeah. Also, like fourth pick of the first round, Team 17, Meowscarada, 12 points. Meowscarada is very fast and flexible attacker. Um, because like its ability protein, it will transform into the type of the attack you click in your first turn. So for example, like on your first turn when Meowscarada come into play, if you click into a ice type move, Meowscarada will become an ice type. If you click fairy type move, say Meowscarada become a fairy type. So it means like offensively, this could be a lot of type, depending on the move pool of Meowscarada, in which it learns a lot of different moves. I'm pretty sure it learns Bug, Fighting, Fairy, Ice, Grass, Dark, probably even more. I cannot really name all of them. So it is very flexible offensively. Also, like it doesn't do much in terms of defense because it's not very bulky. 76 HP, 70 defense isn't that good. Like, you probably need to run Choice Scarf to max the speed, or you need to run Focus Ash to make sure it can survive a hit. But the thing is, 123 base speed is very high speed here in this meta. So you probably outspeed most of your opponents. If not, you can always choice scarf and outspeed all of them. So very flexible attacker. Also, it synergized really well with the team because his entire team was about just switch in and switch out. Parting shot from the Tiger from Incineroar, and the switch out from Rotom Wash and U-turn from Meowscarada. So he could very flexibly choose which Pokemon to switch in, which Pokemon to switch out, and possibly hit every opponent was super effective damage. So I would say very good choice. And a lot of the teams, later on tell me they actually want Meowscarada if Team 17 didn't draft it in this early. Like they plan to draft it in like later in round 5 or like round 6 or 7. So taking Meowscarada before anyone can take it is a very smart choice. After that, Team Chocobomb went 9 points for Feraligatr. Because at this moment, I think the main reason Chocobomb, the coach Roger later on tell me, was because he wanted to have multiple mega, but he already spent a lot of points on his first 4 picks. So he has to go to the more budget choices. And looking at the board, he thinks that Feraligatr was one of the mega choices that he could fit into his team while at the same time doesn't cost too much. Other stuff on his radar would be like Dragonite for 16 or 17, I forgot. Starmie for 15. Meganium for 14. All of them seems like too much of a cost for Team Chocobomb right now. Because if you take any of the 15, 16, 14 pointers, means that he cannot choose another mega, and he's locked into the single mega Pokemon. He's locked into the single mega Pokemon of his choice, and he don't like that. He want to have some flexibility in his mega choice, his mega Pokemon, mega spot. So that's why Feraligatr was chosen. But all in all, like 160 base attack with the ability Dragonize, which turns every single normal type move into Dragon, isn't too shabby. It will struggle a little bit against Fairy types, namely Sylveon and Floette, because Dragon type does not do any damage to Fairy, but anything other than that, Dragon hit them pretty hard. If not, water. He can always go for a water move. The only thing is that this Pokemon does not know Wave Rush, which makes it less powerful compared to things like Swampert. Yeah, but it is synergized pretty well with the Rain Team. Sixth pick of the fifth round, Team Ning selected Mimikyu. Mimikyu was actually his Pokemon to set up Trick Room, his odds to Trick Room. And by choosing Mimikyu, he actually have a two-sided speed control. Also, like Whimsicott, in theory, you could set up Trick Room with Whimsicott, but it's not very bulky and it doesn't really stop anything. Any like counters or answers to Trick Room. So it's harder to set up Trick Room with Whimsicott. So if you want to set up Trick Room, maybe it's gonna be Mimikyu. Because of its ability, make sure that you survive one hit, and its goal side means that you are not affected by fake outs. So it's really easy to set up the Trick Room by Mimikyu if you added a lot of bulk to it. So this is choices, this is options for Trick Room, or even it's like answer to Trick Room. Also, like Mimikyu's attack isn't too shabby, like 90 base attack. It's okay. Like you could click the Ghost and Fairy type attack, if you max its attack. So it's pretty okay. Like 11 point isn't too costly, and I think it's getting a really good Pokemon. I think it's getting a really good Pokemon, strong one. Also, like it covers a lot of the type his team right now just does not have, especially when with Kingambit is 4 times weak to fighting. It's very important to have something with Ghost type on his roster so that you could switch out Kingambit and take those fighting hits. With the 7th pick of the fifth round, I choose Hydreigon. The reason I chose Hydreigon was because first I think Hydreigon was a good Pokemon overall. Like its biggest weakness is it's 4 times weak to Fairy, but seems like I have the best Fairy type attacker, namely Floette. Means there's not gonna be a lot of Fairy stress out there in this draft league, so it solves the biggest problem of Hydreigon. Second is like Hydreigon could go offensive, like a Learn Draco Meteor, Dark Pulse, and all the other cover moves. So it's pretty good offensively, and it could go both physical and special. Its physical attack 105 isn't too bad. Also, like it can set up Tailwind. It has a couple of like support moves that my team would need. Also, like it's pretty bulky, so even if I'm slower than the opponent, I can probably take the hit and still set up my Tailwind. Also, like Hydreigon and Aegislash were a pretty good duo because, as far as I researched, and I'm pretty sure about this, Hydreigon and Aegislash combined together resist or immune to all types in the entire game. It's not a single type hits both Hydreigon and Aegislash for super effective damage. And it is a very popular duo in Generation 6. So being able to have both Hydreigon and Aegislash on my team makes sure I can constantly switch in and out of these two Pokemon and take all possible hits from opponents. So that's why I chose Hydreigon. Also, like it kind of synergized with my future choices where we'll get there when we get there. Okay. And for the double pick from the PP Maxer, they choose Weavile for 9 points and Paldean Turo Blaze for 9 points. Both are very good Pokemon. Weavile is a very fast fake out user and very fast ice type attacker. Also, it can also cover the dark type, which is the 2 type this team is currently lack of. I mean, in theory, Blastoise could be a dark type, but it's still lacking ice. Like ice is a really good type offensively. The Padiantorial Blaze also adds to the fighting coverage. Fighting is also very good offensive type. Also, it is an Intimidate user, so it solves the problem, fills up the spot for Intimidate user for this team. Also, like its Fire type could synergize with Torkoal in theory if needed. But mainly, I think this one will be selected, will be played as the Intimidate user or this fighting type attacker. Well, Weavile will be the fast type, fast speed, high speed, ice type attacker, maybe. Yeah. And when it comes back to me, I choose Mammoth 1 for 12 points. This is why I think Hydreigon was so good on the team. Because with the ability to levitate, it also immune to my own Earthquake. Means that right now I could lead with Mammoth 1 and Hydreigon instead of Tailwind and click Earthquake without harming my own team. Because two members of my team, Charizard and Hydreigon, are both immune to ground type, means Mammoth 1 could work really well with these two Pokemon, which is two Pokemon I would expect myself to play a lot in this entire league. Also, like Mammoth 1 is the only ground and ice type attacker in the entire game, even consider Pokemon are legal for Pokemon Champion. Right? It was like the only ground and ice type Pokemon in like the only ground and ice type attacker Pokemon in the entire Pokemon history. So I treated Mammoth 1 as the cheaper version of Garchomp. It's my replacement for Garchomp. Also, like his ability Oblivious makes it immune to Intimidate, which I think is very important because at this point I haven't chosen anything to anti-intimidate, so I want my physical attacker to be able to ignore Intimidate by itself, so that I'm not forced to choose something, say Empoleon or I don't know what, to kind of anti-intimidate, because all the anti-intimidate users were quite expensive except for Empoleon, which I don't really like. So I think Mammoth 1 is a good choice. Also, one of the biggest opponent for like one of the biggest problem for Charizard is Garchomp from Team Name, and with Mammoth 1, it is pretty easy for me to one-shot Garchomp because it's 4 times weak to Ice. So I'm pretty satisfied with this choice. I am not that confident the moment I log into Mammoth 1, but the more I play with this Pokemon, the more I like about it. I think this Pokemon is going to do a lot in this season. Yes. And speak of team name, he won 6 points for Galarian Slowking. Later, because like at the moment I wasn't really understanding why this Pokemon has been chosen. Later on, when I ask him, he says it's mainly for the Regenerator ability. Makes this Pokemon super bulky, and also like it is part of his Trick Room mode. So like it's super slow, so it could really work really well in the Trick Room mode. Also like he says he needs poison type to resist Fairy, because at this moment none of his Pokemon is actually resisting to Fairy. Kingambit, even though it has Steel type, because it's Steel and Dark, so it is in theory not resist to Fairy. So he needs something that could take the hit from Florets and other Fairy type attackers. And Galarian Slowking seems like pretty budget choice. That's why this Pokemon has been chosen. And going back to Team Chocobon, Coach Roger selected Steelix. Actually, in the indie tournaments, the legend of the game, Wolfie actually gave an insane run for Steelix, taking it all the way to the final. But despite that, Steelix hasn't been considered a really good Mega Pokemon, even after the run of Wolfie. At this moment, Coach Roger actually later on tell me, like he openly tell to the entire group, saying that the choice of Steelix was chosen because he's run out of budget, and it is the cheapest Mega Pokemon that could possibly fit into his team. So I don't really know how he is planning to use Mega Steelix. I would say it is probably gonna be on his Trick Room mode, where he set up a Trick Room with Sinistra, and then probably use Steelix, and hopefully Alcalon could fit into the I think yes, Alcalon could possibly fit into the Trick Room mode. So maybe set up Trick Room and then Steelix come in to swipe the board. I think that's how it works. It's a pretty Sand Force, unless he choose something that can set up the sand, which I don't think he can afford right now because Hippodon has been chosen, and I don't really think he can still afford Tyranitar. If you want to choose Tyranitar, he'll just go for straight up Tyranitar instead of like Steelix plus Tyranitar. So maybe the ability does not really matter. But yeah, we'll see how he utilizes Steelix on his team. Yeah, it's the second Mega choice. I think it's a backup Mega choice. I think his main Mega Pokemon or like his go-to Mega still probably be Feraligatr. Yes. But this, like, after all, Steelix is very slow, so it works really well in the Trick Room. Also, like, his physically pretty bulky, like 230 base defense is nearly impossible to one-shot. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to how this Pokemon would work in this entire league. After that, Team 17 went for Excadrill for 13 points. Excadrill is actually a really good choice in here. First of all, 13 points is like a reasonable or like pretty fair price. Also, like his team by now does not have a Mega Pokemon. And Mega Excadrill, in theory, could Mega. Like his Piercing Drill would make you still do 25% of damage into Pokemon that click Protect. So yeah, it's not too bad as a Mega Pokemon. Also, it could team up with Hippodon to form his mini Sand team, right? Because Axwheel could use Sand Rush, and Hippodon set up the Sand, and then it go for a Rock Slide or like Earthquake, depending on how you want to use it. So I'll say it's pretty good choice for him, and I think this Pokemon will see a lot of play going forward. Next, for 19 points, Toronto Star Raptor choose Goldingo. Goldingo was super strong in Scarlet Violet. That's why it sees a big nerf in Pokemon Champion. It's a signature move. Make it a rain, the accuracy is dropped from 100 to 95, means there's always a chance to miss. Also, in Scarlet Violet, make it rain reduce your special attack by one level. And in Pokemon Champions, it nerfed it to reduce 2 level of your special attack. So it means like Goldingo right now is harder to use because in Scarlet Violet, if you click Nasty Spot, you could click double. You could click Make It Rain 2 times without having your special attack dropped from your normal stats. But right now, even if you click Nasty Spots, you can only click one time of Make Rain, and then your special attack will go back to level 0, will go back to normal. So it means like it is harder to use Goldingo, but it's still pretty strong because Make Rain with like 120 base power of spread attack is a really good one. Also, like you can always go for Flash Cannon, Shadow Ball. So like even if you just don't click Make Rain, this is still a good Pokemon. It's a bit good as gold. Make sure like just no like random there's no like random moves that people can click into you. So it's also pretty good. Like the reason we didn't nerf it, like we like because someone was calling for like Goldingo moved from 19 to 18. The reason we didn't really move it from 19 to 18 was because it's really good as gold. Because there's a lot of like annoying status moves that people can click into you, especially with like a lot of like prankster users. Say like disable, encore, here and there, but with Goldingo, you don't care about it. So they have to remove you from like they have to remove this Pokemon by knock it out, basically. So it's pretty good. And also it's a Steel type. Means it's super good defensively, especially given like how this team is lacking of Steel type. The only thing to be aware is that this team, like Team Star Raptors, by right now has chosen 3 Ghost type: Basket Legion, Hisuian Typhlosion, and Goldingo. Of course, like with Star Raptor up there, it's harder for people to use Star type against this team. But with other team with strong Ghost types, say Team Cat One with Basket Legion Mel, one good Ghost type move could probably threat at least 2 to 3 Pokemon on this team. So that's something to keep in mind. And with the 7th pick of the first round, Team Terror PPY went for the Sidrai for 3 points. This one is just mainly for grass type attacker because that's what the team is currently lacking. Especially given how how the Swampert team has all the pieces of Rain Core, so it's important to get coverage type of grass moves, like grass Pokemon that could hit into Swampert. So like basically the 2 teams people has really tech against was my Charizard team and the Swampert's Rain team. People think these 2 teams are the most complete teams, so people kind of choose Pokemon that can use Rock Slide and can use Grass type moves against 2 of our teams. And speaking of the Swampert team, Team Cat 1 chose Raichu for 17 points. So Raichu is the second Pokemon that has a double form of Mega Evolution, making Coach Jackie being able to switch in between Mega Raichu X and Mega Raichu Y in between different weeks. In theory, right now people think Mega Raichu Y is stronger simply because there's a higher special attack and higher speed. Also, its ability no guards. Make sure you can click like Zap Cannon, which is a super powerful move, but it's only have 50% accuracy. So no guards make it 100. The thing is that Mega Raichu is like Raichu or Mega Raichu is it's not very bulky. Like it's terrible defensively, especially Mega Raichu Y. It's 55 defense combined with like 60 HP means I would say like a lot like basically any physical attack from an okay attacker could probably kill Mega Raichu Y. So it is always about how do you protect Raichu. Because if you just sending Raichu to trade with one of opponent's Pokemon and Raichu die, I don't think really worth it. So you will want Raichu to be able to hit 2 to 3 times to do enough damage before your opponent can knock it out. But overall, very flexible. His second mega choices in case Swampert doesn't work. Even though I still think Swampert is the better choice into the Rain team, but you always have another odds to go for Raichu. After that, his second pick of this double pick, also the first pick of the 7th round, goes for Toxapex. This is another Pokemon where Wolfie had an insane run with it in NAIC, featuring a team with Toxapex, Charizard Y, Mammals Y, Hydreigon. I forgot what other 2 members. But this is more of a defensive Pokemon. It's really hard to remove given how bulky it is with like 152 defense and 142 special defense. Also, its ability Regenerator makes it even harder to KO when Coach Jackie could constantly switch it in and out. Also, like the way Wolfie uses it is to trap opponent and then give them poison to just slowly remove them. Basically, you just play the defensive game and poison all of your opponents and let the poison kill them instead of trying to hit them with like super big moves or super heavy hitting moves. So it's another strategy that this team could in theory go to. Um, but I think this one is mainly up there to help the team with defense. Um, I don't see a lot of synergy between this Pokemon and the rest of the team because the rest of the team was pretty offensive, and this is the first and only defensive Pokemon up until now. Because Toxic Packs does not do much damage. Like his damage output was terrible. Like yeah, you can basically just ignore his damage, except making opponent poison, accepting like just poison all the opponents. So the main damage coming out of this Pokemon is probably gonna be the poison damage. Um, Other than that, it's probably just there for just rotation, just switching in and out. We'll see how this Pokemon works. Like, I don't really expect this Pokemon to come out that often, but we'll see, we'll see. And the second pick of the seventh round, Team Terror PPY selected Morpeko for 2 points. This is the only two Pokemon that can learn both Fake Out and Parting Shot. The other one is Incineroar. Um, this Pokemon was mainly there for like come in, Fake Out, and then Parting Shot away. It can also learn Thunder Wave, but I mean, I don't see this Pokemon gets that much of a play. Maybe you just can't have it on the team, so do the Fake Out and Parting Shot away and Thunder Wave. That's it. I think that's all one Morpeko can do. Um, of course, you can use it as an electric type attacker, but I don't think it do that much. So, this is mainly a choice of mascot. Because you see, like the team label for the team is like um was actually Morpeko. So the coach uh really like this Pokemon, so it's mainly for the mascot, but also like it's not that bad. When you need it, it can do fake out parting shot. And that's what Coach Leo has told me how he want to do it. Yeah, there's not much to talk about. And the third pick of the seventh round, Team Star Raptors, Toronto Star Raptors choose Jolteon for 4 points. There was actually a combo between Jolteon and um, Sceptile, because Mega Sceptile has the ability Lightning Rod. So you can actually you can actually give Scarf to Jolteon and click Discharge to +1 special attack to Sceptile and also possibly deal some damage to the opponents. And then Sceptile come in and just try to do massive damage. That's a combo. Like Discharge Jolteon with anything with Lightning Rod was a good combo to boost up his special attack. But other than that, it's probably there as an electric type attacker. I would expect Jolteon to come in on the same team with Sceptile with Choice Scarf. Probably is how Coach uh, like Coach Kevin will probably use this Pokemon. But other than that, 4 point for Jolteon isn't too bad. It's not. It's also like very cheap. For like 130 speed, high speed, special attacker was electric type. There's not much electric typing other than Raichu and probably Archaludon. So it's pretty valuable to have a good electric type on your team so that no other people have it. The fourth pick from the seventh round, Team 17 finally reveal their mega choice, their real mega choice, Lucario. Lucario was very powerful mega Pokemon with its adaptability, basically increases damage output by 1/3, and also it has approximately the same stats on attack and special attack. Means it could go both special or physical, depending on the need of the coach. Also, 112 speed isn't too bad on this in this meta. It's relatively it's a relatively fast speed Pokemon. Of course, like this team does not have that much of a speed control, but I think Lucario is naturally faster than a lot of high tier Pokemon, say Charizard, Garchomp, Floette. So it's pretty okay. Also, like Steel type is very good, because they kind of help Lucario survive a lot of hits from other attackers. The only thing to watch out for is probably Fire type and Ground type, but as we said, Lucario is just naturally faster than the two of the biggest attacker for those types, namely Charizard and Garchomp. So I think it's very powerful, like Mega Pokemon. Given how much points Team 17 still have, I'm probably expecting some other Pokemon like maybe Mega choices because Askereal wasn't really a good Mega Pokemon. So I'll probably expect another good Mega choices from this team to appear in the later drafts. We'll see. And the fifth pick of the seventh round, Toxicroak from Team Chocoball. We actually call this Pokemon like Toxicroak a mini Sneasler. Up until now, Sneasler is still unemployed, but Sneasler costs 19 and Toxicroak only costs 4 points. So basically, Coach Roger, I think he actually choose it as a mini Sneasler because I don't think there's a specific reason to choose Toxicroak over Sneasler in this matter. Not much. I think it's just being picked as a replacement for Sneasler because he's running out of points up until this moment. I forgot how many points is left with up until now, but I would say somewhere less than 30. So he still have four more Pokemon to go to. So it is very important for him to save up his points for later choices. That's why Toxicroak was drafted. After that, Team Ning selected Pikachu for 1 point. Actually, this is a 1 pointer I wanna choose. But it was sabotaged by Team Ning. This is one of the good 1 pointer because it has the ability Lightning Rod, giving the existence of Mega Ratio in this meta, like chosen by Team Cat One. If you have a Lightning Rod on your team, it's pretty okay, right? And it has the ability. It learns Fake Out. It also learns the electric type move that switch it out. I think it's called Void Switch or something. I really forgot the name, but like it's the electric type that switches up out. So it's pretty. It's not pretty good, but its ability is pretty good. But the base stats is pretty bad. But among all the other 1 pointers, I think this is the Pokemon that can actually see some play in a certain matchup. So this is actually on my drafting plan, on my list, but has been taken by Team Ning prior to me. So I would say pretty good choice. He's probably spotted one of the best 1 pointer in the entire board. Then it goes to me. I used 11 points out of the 14 I have to choose Meowstic Meow. Which means after this one, all the remaining choices for me will be 1 pointers. That's why I'm looking at a lot of 1 pointers. That's why Pikachu was my radar. The reason I chose Meowstic was because this is my fake out user. This is my Pokemon that could set up the song manually because it also has Prankster. So it could Prankster set up the song if I needed to do. Also, like it learns Trick Room and also learns Imprison, which means it is my answer to a lot of Trick Room teams. I could imprison and imprison the Trick Room, make sure opponent cannot click it. Also, of course, it has Mega Form, but given that I already have two of the best Mega, if not the two best Mega, Charizard and Floette, I really couldn't see a world where I Mega Evolve into Meowstic, but yeah, it's mainly there for the Trick Room. And also, like, it could set up Light Screen and Reflect, and it could do a lot of other, you know, support stuff with Prankster. So basically at this moment I feel like I need something to anti-trick room, and I need something to I need a Prankster user to do some setup screen saying or like do something that could support my team. And also like I feel like uh yeah, I feel like I need something that can use fake out. So all in one goes to Meowstick. And the double pick from PB Maxer goes to Hisuian Gudra and Rotom Mole. Let's talk about Hisuian Gudra. It is the 600 base stats Pokemon, is only 6 points. Steel and Dragon, really good typing. Just look at how good our Caladon is. But the thing is, this Pokemon is not very good offensively. It is mainly for defensive. Of course, it learns Body Press, which is something our Caladon just lost. Um, and um, it learns something. It learns a move that is a signature move, but it does the same thing as Iron Defense. I really forgot the name of the signature move, but it's also like increase your physical defense by 2 level, which is exactly the same as Iron Defense. So I don't know why they give it 2 different moves. Maybe just to like avoid imprison, maybe. But it can do the body press shenanigan. It can also do some damage. Mainly as a special attacker, Flash Cannon, like I'm not sure if it learns Draco Meteor. I need to research about if it learns Draco Meteor. But this is very bulky, especially on special end. It's 150 base special defense, makes it super hard to remove um, by special attack. Also, like all three of its ability helps it on the defensive end. So I'll probably see this Pokemon getting played as a shield or like a defensive Pokemon to help the team rotate, to help the team switch in and switch out. But 6 points for a 600 base stats Pokemon, you cannot ask for more, right? And Rotom Mole. It was the third most expensive Rotom among all the Rotom. I think the most expensive one was 14 points for Rotom Wash, and Rotom Heat was like 13 points, I think, and then this Rotom Mole. This Pokemon was mainly up here. First of all, I think the Rotom family is just good in this meta and in this draft league, and his team lacks electric and grass type, so it is actually better for him to choose the grass type Rotom rather than the fire type, given how many fire type Pokemon he has already chosen. So in draft league, you want a balance of different type. So for the Rotom Mole, it kind of feels both the electric and grass typing. So that's pretty good. And 11 points, and it's not crazy expensive, right? When it comes back to me, I choose Simasage. Because after Pikachu has been taken, I really couldn't find anything on the 1 pointer level that could really do much for my team. So I went through the list to figure out the monkeys could use fake out, and it could kind of fill in my while I complete my uh, water fire dragon core. So that's why I choose Simasage. Because I already have the steel fairy dragon core with like Aegislash, Floette, and Hydreigon. So I also want the like dragon, like a fire, water, grass core in theory, in case I need the core to help me like rotate Pokemon, or like just switch in, to cover each other's weaknesses. And I learned that it uses fake out, so I was like 1 pointer give me fake out, kind of okay, so just go for the monkey. Yeah. And after that, Team Ning choose the Leafin Walk. I think that's how they pronounce it. I'm bad at the name of this Pokemon. Midnight. Of course, there's the midday and the dusk version, which is slightly better. One of them has the midday has Sand Rush. The dusk has Tough Claw. But given the Ning hasn't really chosen a Mega Pokemon other than Garchomp, which we wouldn't think it is his Mega choice, and he needs to save up for points. The midnight version of the wolf, it's kind of okay. Like it's it's a rock type, so it could probably hit into Charizard. Yeah, like I wouldn't really see this Pokemon getting played that much, even though it has the no guard ability. Maybe against my team, just as a backup rock slide user. Other than that, I think this Pokemon is gonna stay on the bench for most of the time. After that, Choco Bomb. Coach Rogers selected Box for 2 points. This is actually the cheapest Intimidate user for the entire meta. Mm, and I think that's the main reason this Pokemon has been drafted. I couldn't see any other reason this one is better than other Intimidate user like Patty and Toro, Arcanine, or even like Luxray. So I think Roger chose it because this is the cheapest Intimidate user. Yeah. After that, Team 17 drafted Venusaur for 14 points. Actually, this is a Pokemon a lot of people think I am gonna draft as a partner for Charizard, but I didn't ended up choose it because I think Sleep Powder 70% accuracy. I don't like it. I don't like a 70% accuracy move. Also like I think because Charizard loves Solar Beam, so I don't really need a grass type attacker on my team because Charizard could fill in the spot. Of course, Venusaur would be good, but given that I've already chosen up, given that I choose Floette, uh, and Charizard at the same time, and I need a lot of other like support options. I really don't think I have the point to choose Venusaur. Uh, so it goes to Team 17. Venusaur is actually gonna be. I think it's actually gonna be his Mega choices. Mega Venusaur is especially bulky with its ability Sick Fat. Sick Fat basically take away as fire and ice weaknesses. Combined with his 123 defense and 120 special defense, make this Pokemon extremely bulky and super hard to remove. Um, Combined with all the other defensive pieces on his team, namely Incineroar, Rotom Wash, and even possibly Hippowdon, his team could be a very bulky team and could be really annoying given how many supportive moves his team can learn. After that, Toronto Star Raptors went 2 points for Slowpuff. I think it's probably for his ability Sweetwell to prevent itself from getting asleep. I think you can also learn some support moves that he can click into his own Star Raptor with his ability Unburden. So like if you come in with a Slowpuff with no holding item and then click some of the supportive moves into his own Star Raptor to boost it up. Maybe I have to research about this Pokemon. Actually, I'm facing this team week 2, so it's important for me to know what Slurpuff could do before they run me over. Yes. After that, Terrell PPY. Team Terrell PPY selected Trevenant for 3 points. Trevenant and Decidueye are actually exactly the same type. Decidueye is a little bit faster, but not much. Later on, like the coach Leo actually tell me he thinks that he shouldn't choose Decidueye, he should just go to straight up Trevenant. The reason is that Trevenant, first of all, have a really good ability Frisk, and also Harvest is not that bad. Also, like it learns Trick Room, so it could set up a Trick Room for this team, giving it access to both Trick Room and Tailwind on the same team. If it partner up with Aerodactyl. So it's also up there for the grass type coverage and its ability to set up Trick Room. So yeah, it functions the same as the Sidrai, but Coach Leo actually thinks this is a better choice than the Sidrai. So yeah. After that, Team Cat 1 went for Vaporeon. Vaporeon actually has the ability Water Absorb, which is super good against the rain team. So when Coach Jackie chooses it on his own team, make sure no one can use Vaporeon against his team. Also, this Pokemon is pretty good when it comes down to the one-on-one in late game. So this is another art Coach Jackie had for his team to play the late game one-on-one battle. So we'll see how this Pokemon has been utilized by Team Cat One. But I think the main reason Coach Jackie drafted this Pokemon is that he don't want other people to have Water Dwarf against his own team. After that, Team Cat 1 choose Hisuian Avalok for 1 point. Oh, this is another like Pokemon that could do something as a 1-pointer. It has Rock and Ice type coverage, but it's pretty slow. Its physical defense is pretty high, but its special defense is terrible. So I don't really know how good this Pokemon, how good this Pokemon will be on Team Cat One's roster. But we don't know. Maybe we'll see some play. Maybe we won't. But at this moment, you have to choose some low point Pokemon, and there's not much good choices out there. After that, for 4-pointer, Team Terrell PPY selected Luxray. This is another cheap Intimidate user, also covers the electric type for this team. I think that's the main reason Luxray has been picked. Against teams that are very physical, or we could see some play from Luxray, or against teams that needs lightning coverage, which I haven't really researched which team is very weak to lightning. Maybe the Staraptor team. I don't know. Yeah, for 4 points, it's okay. It's not that bad. But then Toronto Staraptors selected Aspasra for 6 points. Actually, Aspasra is a very, very good choice. It could learn Baton Pass alongside Carmine and Speed Boost. Could be the starting point for setup Pokemon. You could protect Carmine, protect Baton Pass to your Goldingo, and it gets +1 special attack, +1 special defense, +3 speed, and become a sweeper for the entire board. Could just swipe the board. Or you could just protect Baton Pass to your Staraptor, and then it suddenly gets +2 speed to outspeed everyone. So it's very good, pretty good value out of 6 points. Also, Frisk is a very useful information related ability, so I could see some play from Aspasra. Yeah, I think it's a very good choice. After that, Team 17 choose Glalie for 4 points. This is another Pokemon has been telling me like since the release of Draft Board. He was like he could use some weird build of Glalie and just go for like Mega Glalie explosion and just wipe the board if opponent don't click protect. Which yeah, fine. You can just smoke people into it for one game. But I don't think you can smoke into people for both games. So maybe for some games we could see some play from Glalie, but yeah, I think it's just a Pokemon that the coach liked. He thinks he can do something with Glalie, but I'm not that positive. I don't like this Pokemon. I don't think it is that strong, but the coach liked it, and we'll see if Glalie really shine in the later rounds. After that, Team Chocobon choose Serena for 8 points. Serena is actually the only other Pokemon other than Feraligatr that could block priority moves. With this ability Queenie Majesty, it could block priority moves just as how the Armatel does. I think this is the main reason this Pokemon has been drafted. Other than that, it's okay grass type attacker, 120 base attack, can hit pretty hard for super effective damage. But it's mainly there to block the priority moves. I think which is another thing that this team would want to do, given that the Galwing of Talonflame needs the Pokemon to be in full health for it to be in effect. So it could just lead with a random Pokemon and Talonflame, and when you try to use priority move to stop the Galwing, it could just switch into Serena. Or it could also just lead with Serena and Talonflame, and so that to deter you away from hitting the Talonflame with priority moves. Also, it blocks Prankster, which is also pretty good on this team. Yes. Other than that, Team Ning selected Alchemy for 4 points. We actually, because like by the time I'm making this video, the round 1 for Team Ning has already concluded, and Alchemy did see play in the round, and it did pretty okay. So we'll just hold on to it and wait until I release the recording for round 1 to see how it does. But what I can tell you is this Pokemon is better than I think it is. It's better than I think it is. After that, I choose the Water Monkey. I mean, in this moment, yeah, like as I said, monkeys learns fake out, and I wanna complete my dragon. No, not dragon, like fire, water, grass sword. Maybe we'll see some play in some matchup, but mainly, like most of the time, 90% of the time, I'm probably just playing with my first 7. I think my 1-pointers will stay on the bench for like 90% of the game. And for the final double pick from PP Maxer, they choose Wild which is a 4-pointer. Pretty good value out of it. It has it can double its speed in the stun with the help of Torkoal, and when it goes max speed, it could outspeed a lot of Pokemon in the sun. Also, it learns after you, so which is another way to set up for the Torkoal. You can just max speed Wild Plume, lead it with Torkoal, and after you Eruption, which could, in theory, hit a lot of teams really, really, really hard. So I like these choices. Also, like if you don't pair this Pokemon up with the Sun, it is also pretty slow naturally. 50 speed is very slow, so you can also fit it in with your Tricking mode or Trigger mode. So it's a very flexible Pokemon and could go either way. You could go the fast way and enable your Torkoal, or you could go the slow way to use it in the Trick Room. So I think it's pretty smart choices, and I like this Pokemon a lot. And the second pick, and the from the double pick, and the last pick from PP Maxer goes to Mr. Rhyme. Mr. Rhyme is another Trick-Room setter, which is valuable because as a Trick-Room team, you want to have more than one Trick-Room setter. Also, its ability Screen Cleaner makes it when it comes in, it could destroy all the screen. So there's a few teams, including my team, the Team Cat 1 and Star Raptors, that could easily set up a screen with Prankster user. But with Mr. Rhyme on the roster, our screen could be removed really easily just by switching Mr. Rhyme into play. So it is a counter to all the screen setups. Yes. And my last pick, Garbodor. Yeah, there's not much to pick from Garbodor. Like that, there's not much good 1-pointer left in the entire draft. I choose Garbodor mainly for its move Clear Smog, which I mean maybe I could use it against the Star Raptor team. I don't really know, but yeah, that's how I want to use it. That's how I want to use it. Other than that, I couldn't really see Garbodor getting into play very often. It's probably gonna sit on the bench, except for the game against Toronto Star Raptors. But even then, I think like Garbodor would be like my team would be worse with Garbodor on the team. So maybe I won't even play that against Star Raptor. We'll see. But it's just 1-pointer. I'm not expecting that much from a 1-pointer. Again, like my main Pokemon is gonna be my first 7. So, and I'm pretty satisfied with the 7 Pokemon choose. I think I get a pretty good team with my first 7 pick. And for the last pick, Team Ning finally. Oh, this is not. Oh, this actually name is wrong. Finally review his Mega Pokemon, which is not Alchemy. The name is wrong. It's actually Chandelure. Chandelure is a really, really heavy-hitting Pokemon with his Mega Form having 175 base special attack. With all these supports you could possibly get from um, Whimsicott, uh, Chandelure could actually hit really, really hard, and this ability in Infiltrator, uh, that's how it's pronounced, right? Infiltrator, yeah, could hit through the wall, hits you, mm, yeah, I mean, it could hit through the wall, hits you substitute here and there, so it makes sure like you can actually do the real amount of damage, not affected by those walls, by those substitutes. So it's also like added something to this Pokemon. I wouldn't say it's a crazy, crazy strong one, but I mean, it is probably the best choice Team Ning could get with 9 points. And that's another weaknesses for not revealing your mega early because you won't get the strongest mega. But I mean, like even he has already got like Whimsicott, Garchomp, King Gambit. I don't think there's anything to you know. It's not this. There's not much to regret about when you get some of the best non-mega Pokemon. So like when you spend that much amount of your budget on your non-mega attacker, of course your mega Pokemon will be weaker, but I think you can work away with it just by letting Tailwind Garchomp carry all the way. And when when Garchomp finally die, come in with Chandelure and swipe the board. Maybe he can. I think his team is pretty good. He has a lot of options. It has a balance between physical and special attacker. I think this team is pretty scary. Yes. And last pick from Chocobon goes to Zoroark. In theory, like I think if he has the point, he will go to Hisuian Zoroark because this Hisuian Zoroark was the better version of Zoroark because it has the Ghost type, which could because like most of the time you use Zoroark to smoke your opponents. But like with Hisuian Zoroark, what he can actually do is also like smoke your opponent to click fake out into you and uh, avoid the fake out. But he only has 6 points, so he cannot afford Hisuian Zoroark, which I think is like 9 or 10 points. I forgot. So I mean, his team kind of needed something to smoke other people. Maybe because he has um Galwin, Talonflame, he has like Serena. So like it's really important to have some smoke into people to make them click into the wrong move to keep them sort of an advantage in the game. Yeah. Last pick from team 17. 1 point Cannon. This is another 1 pointer that could do something. Like this Mon could set up Tailwind. And the coach from Team 17 actually told me among all the 1 pointer remaining, if a Pokemon can possibly set up Tailwind, it is better than other 1 pointers. So it's there to fill up his spot, and maybe if you need a Tailwind user, but yeah, it doesn't do much other than set up Tailwind, and it's not very good at setting up Tailwind because its speed is not that fast, but it's better than nothing, right? Last pick from Toronto Star Raptors goes to Empoleon for 7 points. This is a Pokemon with ability competitive, which is something that could um that could um that could be there to anti-intimidate. Also, we know that because Star Raptor has contrary, so sometimes you want to click all the debuff status move into your own mon. If you want to do that, you can also like click all those moves into Empoleon. Say like you could Grim-style Parting Shot into Empoleon, and then Empoleon will get +1 special attack. Um, but other than that, this is a pretty good defensive Pokemon, and it's an anti-intimidate Pokemon, and yeah, I like it a lot. Like it a lot. This is actually on my radar for sometimes. I finally decided to pick Aegislash over this. But if I don't get Aegislash, I might have locked into Empoleon earlier. Yes, pretty good Pokemon, and I think they have a really good team. I think the Toronto Star Raptors is a scary, scary team. It has a lot of options, and nearly every single Pokemon could come into play. So yeah, I'll have a lot of trouble. Well, like anyone could have a lot of trouble facing up against this team. Second last pick for the entire draft, and the last pick from Team Terrell PPY goes to Everlock, the normal version of Everlock. The same thing with the Hisuian version. The only difference is like this is only Ice type, while the Hisuian version has Ice and Rock type. I really couldn't comment on which one is better. Both version kind of sucks in terms of defense typing because Rock and Ice are both terrible defensive typing. And given how this Pokemon stats was like a defensive spread, yeah, I don't think this Pokemon is good. I think this is there to fill up the spot and maybe smoke people into 1 or 2 games. If this Pokemon wins them 1 game or 2, it was the cost, basically. The last pick from Team Cat 1 goes to 3-pointer Gliscor. This is Pokemon that can sell Tailwind. It's both flying and ground type. Other than that, Hyper Cutter makes it unable to make opponent not able to reduce his power level. So like you cannot intimidate, you cannot parting shot. I mean you can, but it won't do anything. Basically, your stats won't be reduced by your opponents. So yeah, you can learn Earthquake. So it's just I think a backup attacker for this team, also like a backup Tailwind user. But like all in all, I think the Team Cat one is mainly like a fully set up rain team. I would expect the rain core to come into play most of the time. It's probably just the rain core +2. Could be plus Rachel and the snake, or could be like something else from the last 4 pick. But all in all, like Team Cat One has a very, very well structured rain team. I think like Team Cat One and Team Toronto Star Raptors are 2 of the scariest team in my mind. So this is like a recap for all the Pokemon has been drafted. Um, Based on what the group has said, like we all believe the Star Raptor, Cat One, and also my team are the 3 teams that are like super scary. Because Team Cat One's complete rain core, and the Star Raptors has a lot of option, and I have the 2 best Mega Pokemon in the meta. But in terms of dark horses, I would say PP Maxer has the biggest potential to be the dark horse, because their trickle mode is pretty complete, and I think this team also has a lot of options, even though they don't really have super like super giga broken stuff like Staraptor, Charizard, or like the Rain Core. A lot of this attacker or like a lot of options team if like synergize well against each other, and also like if piloted correctly could do a lot of stuff. And other than that, I think one of the mystery team is the Team 17, where it was like he started up with a lot of choices people didn't expect it, and he kind of formed a team like in terms of counter teaming. He has a lot of counter options. His team does not really have like one straight line or one one way to play the team. Like you like look at Team 17, you don't really know what this team is going for. But if you look deeper into the team, you figure out like no matter what you choose against this team, they will always have a counter team, like a counter option. So like this team has a lot of counter option, so it's also like a very interesting team. So for week 1, Team Cat 1 will face up Team Terror PPY. Um, Team Star Raptors will take on PP Maxer. Team 17 will take on Team Ning, and Chocobomb will face me. By the time we record this video, some of the matches has concluded. But what I will do is I will wait for all the game to complete and then do the set up the video recording, upload the video recording, and probably with some commentary on the games. And thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the support for this channel. Again, if you want to join season 2 of the Draft League, join the Discord down below. Leave a like and subscribe for the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. I will probably focus on this Draft League for the rest of June and July. Um, and after July, with the release of set 4 of Riftbound and the release of new Pokemon trade card game set, I might move to making some more videos on TCG, but it will be the Draft League for the upcoming months. Thank you all for your support. I will see you in week 1 battle.